Hi, I'm the Gadget Guru Andy Parr, and you're watching thevog.net. I'm here at JPM Performance Powersports in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. If you're not familiar with this area, Hopkinsville is located about an hour north of Nashville in the southern Kentucky area. And I got to tell you, there's some gorgeous riding roads in this area. Here with me, you've met this guy before in a VOG Member Spotlight. This is Cliff 02, and this is his 2011 cross country. Now, we featured this bike in another video, but I happened to be in the area, stopped over here at JPM. Cliff, you've done some changes to your bike, some mods. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, I kind of fibbed. I said I wasn't going to do anything to it the last time I talked to you. And I don't know, I got looking at the Ireland Ness Derby cover and the timer cover, and I figured that would look real good, so I added that on. And then I heard the exhaust system that Pete and Michael Sabatino produce here locally in their own shop, and that sounded really good, so I had to have a set of that.
So tell me about their exhaust. This is not something they buy. They make this right here. What do they do? They take your stock exhaust?
They take the stock exhaust, and I don't know exactly what they do. They won't tell me. They surgically operate on it, and then disassemble it, and they put it back together. They've actually dyno tested it on Pete's bike to make sure that it doesn't rob any horsepower or anything. They actually changed the muffler outlets so when you get a shot of mine at the end, and if you look at them, they are bigger, and they just sound really good and they add to the performance of the bike.
Okay, well, I tell you what, why don't we go in and take a listen? Why don't you just go in and sit on the bike? I'm going to set the microphone down over here. I'll step away. Let's hear what these things sound like. Wow, Cliff, I got to tell you, this is day and night from the exhaust you had before. What do you think of it?
I love it because when you're riding down the road and you're cruising at 70 miles an hour, it's not that loud. It's pretty mellow, and it works good. When you lay into it, you know you've got into it because the decibels raise significantly. But
now, did you have to do any fuel control or any software upgrades, digital wrench or anything to it, or was it just plug and play?
No, I brought it in, and they put the exhaust on for me, and it was basically plug and play. I'd already had the stage 1 done to it, and they just slipped the exhaust on and checked everything, and it worked fine, so we just went from there.
Now, I have to ask, what does a mod like this cost?
I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was around $500.
Okay, and you got to keep all everything stock. I mean, they took it off, they did the mod and put it back on.
They did everything. I just kind of sat there and drank their coffee.
Well, I got to tell you, we've been hanging out in the dealership today, and I got to tell you, this is a really friendly place. I mean, it's like, it kind of reminds me of a lot of the ways the dealers used to be. You have a lot of space in there, you have a lot of apparel, a lot of accessories on display. You have a great shop area, and the owners seem like the type who get to know each and every customer here.
They do. They take really good care of their customers, from parts, service, sales, and it doesn't end after you buy the bike. When you roll back in, you've pretty much bought into the dealership, you bought into the family. They recognize you, they know you by name, and they will take care of you.
Now, they were telling me that they do something that's a little different than what I've heard other dealers do when it comes to service. That basically on weekends, they keep their service open all day Saturday. You need an oil change, you need a set of tires, you just ride in. It's done while you wait. Have you found that to be true?
That's very much a fact, and every time, I haven't had the tires changed on this yet. It's got 16,500 on it. I'm going to change them next weekend, but I'll bring it up on a Saturday morning and say, guys, I need an oil change, and I'll sit there and drink their coffee, talk to the guys at the parts counter, Jay and Robbie, and Tommy, Jerry, Ronnie, whoever's in the back will service the bike, and it's good to go.
Now, I heard that people even come from Nashville an hour away just to come up here for the service. Are you finding that to be true?
That's true. On Saturday, this place is packed, and if just come up here and check it out on a Saturday. The service department has gained a lot of respect in the local community, as has the parts department, because they can get you virtually anything. So when you show up here on Saturday and you need some work done, they'll do it, and they do it right.
Well, I tell you, you talk about personal service, and let me just tell you my personal story. I just found out on short notice I was going to be in the Nashville area. Talked to Cliff. My only available time to come up here was on a Sunday. Of course, the dealership was closed. They opened up. They said, come on by, bring the VOG cameras in. That's great hospitality. It speaks volumes for the dealer.
Yes, it is, and they're like that all the time. I mean, I've called them and said, hey, can you guys be available? Can I get an oil change? Can I come in right now and do an oil change? And they're like that. So. Okay,
now let's get back to your cross country. You put a lot of miles on it.
Yes, sir.
Since I saw you last. I also hear you got a big trip coming up. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, I do. I'm going to do the Run for the Wall. It's a Veterans Memorial Ride in memory of those who can't ride, the POWs, MIAs, and the soldiers, and all of our service members that are serving today. So I'm going to ride from here and pick up some buddies in Colorado Springs, and then we're going to ride from Colorado Springs to Los Angeles, where the Run for the Wall starts, and it starts in Rancho Cucamonga, California. I'm going to get to see D-Dog, and we're going to leave Los Angeles area, and we're going to ride across country to Washington, D.C. We're going to arrive in Washington, D.C. on a Friday, and on Sunday we're going to do the 25th running of Rolling Thunder, and then I'm going to ride back home and see my wife.
First of all, that sounds like it's a great cause to bring that sort of attention to it. And the VOG is going to be there for you to tell your story and to help promote what you're riding for. It's just a really nice thing to ride for.
It is. People don't understand today, we are a nation at war. Well, only a very small percentage of the population is involved in that war, a bit less than 1%. And the rest of us are kind of at the mall. And we don't understand the sacrifices that our young servicemen and women make today to guarantee our safety and our rights.
And let me point out, you spent a career in the military. You're now still working for them as a consultant?
Yes, I spent 26 years in the United States Army, proudly. I love my Army, I love my country, and I love the soldiers, and I worked for them as a contractor when I first retired, and they converted my job to a Department of the Army civilian, and I work for them now.
And let me point out that the folks here at JPM, we're only located just a short distance from Fort Campbell, Kentucky, at the military base there. They really do a lot here with the military programs that Victory has come up with in catering to the needs of the military or the military rider. Is that correct?
Yes, they do. They are involved in safety days and making sure people are aware of motorcycle safety, both the riders and the cage drivers, watching out for motorcycles. So they get involved in safety days. They put a lot of events on here, and when they do a demo here, demo days, it's really good because, they have food. If you take a test ride, you get a ticket, you get free food, and they have bands here and everything. So it's pretty good.
Well, tell me how this works. The riding requirements for many military personnel are different than the rider. Don't they have different requirements of what they need to wear and how they ride? Can you tell me about that?
Yes. If you're going to ride, if you're a military service member in any of the branches of the service, I believe the requirements encompasses all the services. You have to have long sleeves on. You must wear gloves. You have to have long pants on. You must have over-the-ankle boots. You must wear a reflective belt or a reflective vest. You must have protective eyewear and a DOT-approved helmet.
Now, what happens if somebody's coming in and they're riding on base and they come in without all the checklist?
You're not getting on base. They will not let you on.
And I guess you don't want to find out what happens from there. Well, Cliff, again, it's always a pleasure to see you. I want to thank you for your time and the hospitality, both you and JM up here in Hopkinsville.
Well, thank you very much, Andy, and we were glad to have you. It's great exposure for these guys. They deserve it.
Okay. For the VOG.net, I'm the Gadget Guru, Andy Parr, and I'll see you on the road and online.